Ladies and gentlemen, Byron Tigers Live is on the air. We're opening up our stream early just to make sure that we can get everybody in and that all of our tech is working correctly. But we are set up here in Richmond-Burton, and we're going to be ready very soon for some football. In fact, as we speak, the Tigers are coming in to the facility. We've got a sideline cam set up. In fact, we're in the end zone, as you can see. And here come the boys. We are having a little technical difficulties with our camera up atop the press box. But that's okay because we got about 25 minutes to go to get set up, to get ready to do work. So I'm going to put my headset down. We're going to keep pushing buttons and setting our tech up so that we will be ready to live stream this IHSA Class 3A semifinal game, the winner to the state championship. Tell all your friends and family where to find us. We'll keep the stream open. I'll turn my headset down. We'll keep setting up, and we'll join you for some pregame coverage of the Byron Tigers very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, this is pregame coverage. We're not really doing the show yet. We're just setting up our tech in case you were wondering, hey, if we lose the feed a little bit or, something isn't working right. We're still setting up, man. We're in Richmond. We had to drive through God's country, we'll say, to get up here. It's about an hour-and-a-half drive. It's a beautiful drive, but you're kind of out here in the middle of nowhere, and it's not a bad thing. But we are here just near the end zone, very similar to our North Boone broadcast. Now, this is kind of cool. A lot of people loved that broadcast because we were in the end zone, and it was one of those things where it's kind of like, in fact, you can kind of see us. I think you can kind of see Keegan there in your screen to the right as we look down. A lot of people liked that broadcast because of our end zone views. Kind of cool. So we're we're down here. Andy Donaldson is the principal has kind of come down to say hi. So we're going, baby. All right. Hey, we still got some things to set up, and make sure you tell your people about us so they know where to find us here on YouTube, Byron Tigers Live. We're going to keep going through our checklist here like a plane taking off, but tell your people that the game will be starting soon. In fact, the scoreboard says 19 minutes to kick off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've pushed all the buttons and connected all the cables and done everything we've needed to do to make our broadcast a possibility here. There's the crowd mic. I'm open to suggestions, by the way, and feedback. We want to be the absolute best broadcast that we possibly can be. And every week we've tried to make things a little bit better. And one of the pieces of feedback that we got a week ago, as you can see from the score bug that we have working on the screen now, is that we got the down and the distance and the timer fixed, because we've done right. Hey, by the way, to my left, I thought that was Jackson. It's actually Cooper Mayborn. We got Keegan to my right. We've got Avon up atop the press box. That's where he's perched. We're down here in the, not literally in the end zone, but anyway, we heard, first of all, we love all the positive affirmations that we get. We thank you very much for all of those. But one of the growth opportunities, if you want to, that's what I like to call it, a growth opportunity, was to get that timer fixed. So, all right, I'm going to check in a couple more things. Hey, I think Jackson's got my roster. Good thing I know all of our boys, but Jackson got my roster. What's that? Right here. All right. Well, I'm gonna put my headset down, and again, we're not really in a press box. We're not at all in the press box. We're in the end zone, so we're still going through our sets here, getting set up in a little bit of a different way. All right. Back in a minute. Hey, and it's cold, which is okay. I mean, it's almost Thanksgiving, right? It's beautiful Saturday afternoon football weather. You don't really see much of the sun. It's pretty overcast, but it doesn't, knock on wood, look like rain is in the forecast. Just a little bit cloudy, and that's okay. We'll get you the starting lineup here, and we'll be set for kickoff here in just a few minutes. Hey, Wickman checks in, says got the whole family over. Had a baby. Hey, is one Everett Wickman in the house? We miss that guy around Tiger Country. John Marenko is listening in. Somebody listening from Alaska, Tampa Bay. Glad you got everything working. I tell you what, it's kind of a hey, that's the nature of the beast when you're in this business, especially when we're out here under the elements. That's okay. Thanks, big guy. Talking to Jackson here, our stats guy. So you guys don't need to know the full story, but a lot of interest. So now's the easy part. Actually, I'm in my chair down here. I'm kind of able to kick back a little bit now, finally, after all the hoopla of the setup. By the way, this is a free broadcast. You don't have to put your nickel in and, pay to watch. There's some other platforms that do that, so it doesn't give us a free pass to, not be the best we can be, of course, but if we do have a little tech glitch along the way, we're providing this free service. And if everybody's been telling the truth, they love what we've been doing, because we've got a great student production team that came up here early enough for us to set up. Hey, Jackson, we tried to set up that doggone tent. Could have helped a little bit, cut the wind down, but this is a turf field, okay, as you can see. You can see the field. I'm not sure if you could tell exactly that it was indeed turf. And certainly we wouldn't be setting up on the field, but just beyond, we're kind of on this, the interior part of the track. And unlike in North Boone, where we were able to kind of dig in and stake down, how about that, with our tent in the grass, we don't have that opportunity here. And we could have made, hey, Jackson, we could have made some holes in their nice track here, but we didn't think anybody we wouldn't want anybody doing that at our place. So we want to be good visitors for these great hosts here in Richmond-Burton. Okay, as you can see from our score bug, by the way, like we said, made a couple of changes there. You can see Byron, the 2 seed. It's a great controversy, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything. Here we are with the 1 and the 2 seed taking the gridiron here in the semifinal matchup. The Rockets of Richmond-Burton, you can see there, the number 1 seed. So both teams undefeated. As we await kickoff here, the scoreboard says about 4 minutes. All right, we'll get to know the Richmond-Burton team here in just a little bit. But let's talk about the Tigers for Byron under the direction of Jeff Boyer. And by the way, hey, Jackson, are you going to do the little pregame, you know, the history? Are you ready? You got your, is it like coming out of the, oh, you got it on your phone? All right, hey, Jackson's going to join us here in a minute. He's going to give us a little history. But I was getting ready to say Jeff Boyer was the head coach of the Tigers back in the 99 season. He was at the helm. And then, of course, his middle brother, Mike Boyer, and both of these guys are on staff, by the way. But Mike Boyer was a lineman. Mike, I love you, buddy. I don't think you were supposed to touch the ball unless, you know, one kind of bounced up into your lap during a game. And I don't know, maybe there's a great story out there of Mike Boyer running a touchdown, running a fumble back for a touchdown. But anyway, Jackson, I don't want to steal your thunder. Come over. So this is a student group. I do the play-by-play, but Jackson said, he's our statistician. Jackson is going to give you a little bit of background between Byron and Richmond-Burton and maybe a little story about David Boyer. Jackson Mayborn.
Well, it's a cold and windy one here in Richmond today, but some interesting facts about Byron and Richmond-Burton. So Richmond-Burton actually used to be in our conference. Now they're in the Kishwaukee River Conference, and we're still in the Big Northern, of course. But 2002 was the last time that Byron played Richmond-Burton in the playoffs. Of course, not including today. But Byron actually won that game 34-21. And Richmond-Burton has had some good past seasons, as in 2019, Richmond-Burton won state in Class 4A. Of course, Byron won in 2021 and 2023 in Class 3A both times, with big key beats in both of those seasons, with beats of Montini and IC. Just some really touching things, but I'm going to set the microphone down for the national anthem.
All right, there's the national anthem, indicating that we are just about set for game time. Hey, somebody in the chat ain't going to like this, but there is an alternative broadcast you're welcome to join. You'll have to fish around on the internet to find it. But we will absolutely be saying the name Kotze many times today as we expect him to have a great game. That's Caden Considine. He is our senior leader, among others, right, on this Byron team. Number 37 getting the start in the backfield, along with number 4, Dawson D. Criddle. Listen for number 27, J.J. Edmondson. And at number 16, people are starting to, around the school, call him Unk. That's because he's going to UNC on a baseball scholarship. But for now, he's the junior under center for the Tigers, number 16. That's Andrew Talbert. All right, we've got some ends in number 8, Will Julian. Number 88, Julian, by the way, the snowman. Number 88, Jack Jennings. And the line of the Pharaoh, Dalton Norris, that's number 53. Number 54, Braden Hammis. Number 57, Brody Stein. Cade Polich, number 61. And then the sophomore, Dylan Nelson, rounding out the offensive line of the Tigers. All right, that's Cunningham set to kick off. 12 minutes is on the scoreboard. We are ready to go here in Richmond. Cunningham holding up his right hand, and he's ready to go. All right, so we're a student production team. I can tell you that the reason we're down here in the end zone is there just wasn't enough room up in the press box. And we also lost our usual sideline camera operator due to a convention. That's Riley and Nick. So Avon's up there, and he's at high atop the press box, and we'll tell him to make sure that he tells that guy to his left to move over just a little bit. But here we go. We're underway as the Tigers have kicked off to Richmond-Burton. Hey, Jackson, you got to text Avon and let him know to make sure that his screen is clear for our viewers, because right now he's getting a little bit of an issue up there. All right, big pile up there. And the other thing is, because of our, and these are all the things that you got to do, man. You got to make your tech work for you, but that camera that's up there is not the usual camera that we have up in the press box, and it doesn't have quite as wide of a view. It's a very similar thing to what happened when we were in North Boone. And, we'll try to play with these camera angles a little bit and get you the best that we can. But it might take us a little bit, under some different circumstances. There's a big pile up there. Look at the hogs of the Tigers doing work and pushing the progress back. Anyway, a happy accident in North Boone is we were also not able to fit into the press box there. And by the way, I'm sure that we could have pressed the issue a little bit more, but sometimes we're like, hey, something cool might happen if we try something different. And some people said they loved the broadcast because there was a couple of touchdowns that came right into your living room. Landon Bonvalet and Andrew Talbert come to mind. All right, 3rd and short. Tigers defensively doing work. There's the inside handoff and a big pile up there. It's going to be close. From my viewpoint, very difficult to see the line to gain, and we'll do our best, but it does appear that they've picked up the first down. So there's our view, Keegan's camera here in the end zone. And there's Avon's camera high atop, and that's about as wide as he can get. I've asked him to try to get as wide of a look at it as he can, and with that camera, that unexpected camera up there, that's the best we can do. All right, on first down, inside handoff, big pile up. There's Bennett Hively. I call him Bennett. Many people call him Ben around school, number 33, our leading tackler on the season. Isaac Alvarez out there, number 29 on the edge, along with number 84, Zion Gatier. There's Will Julian, bottom of your screen. Just underway here in Richmond. Overcast, cold, Little bit windy. Maybe not quite as windy, huh, Jackson, as a week ago. But two teams that play a little bit more of a similar style of play. Wind shouldn't be too much of a factor. Stood up there. Considine, Talbert, Bennett Hively helping out. There was the Pharaoh Norris on the scene as well. Third down and long coming up for Richmond-Burton. Ball on their own 42-yard line. 9 minutes-ish remaining in this opening period. All right, Richmond-Burton breaking the huddle from the 42. 3rd and 6. Man in motion, dropping back, looking to pass. There it is, caught flat right side and knocked out of bounds. And should be enough for another first down. Hey, we're glad to have you along. Remember, spread the word. We are unapologetically a Tiger broadcast, but our mission statement includes broadcasting with integrity, the way that we would hope our guys would be treated by a visiting broadcast. But we are unapologetically on the side of the Tigers. There is an alternative feed if you don't like what we're selling, so to speak. All right, looks like the Rockets are going to try right between the tackles. Right now, kind of a matchup of, you know, the big linemen, much more of a factor in this game. A week ago, Immaculate Conception, a team that likes to throw with over 2,000 yards passing on the season. It was a little bit windy. We're not going to blame the wind for their troubles. But they never really got the air attack going. All right, Hanneman calling signals. Yep, power formation, double tight, right down the middle. Not much there as Gatier got him low. Considine in on the stop, or excuse me, number 33, Ben Hively. Ball at the 44-yard line. So a game, unlike a week ago, that's going to chew up quite a bit more clock, as the Rockets have attempted one pass to pick up that first down recently, but back to work now. A lot of 3rd and 4, a lot of 3rd and 5. That's what the scoreboard says. We'll go with it. From the 45, the Tigers. Dropping back to pass, over the middle and caught, and still on his feet despite a big pileup there. Richmond-Burton moving the ball. Several Tiger defenders helping out with the stop, but not before another 3rd down, first down pickup through the air. Hey, so appreciative of all the love on the broadcast. Again, a free broadcast, and we'd like to think we have a good thing going, huh, Jackson? We got the student crew. I got the easy part, just talking about the game. And we're outside, and it's cold. I think the only thing I got to worry about is getting too cold to form the words. All right, running play, right side. Look at the big fella moving the ball. Several white jersey defenders draped on Carly, a powerfully built running back. 2nd down and 4, Richmond-Burton right in front of us here, almost into the red zone. I know I brought my gloves, boys. They're probably, after all this setup, they're probably back in the car. It's not helping me right now. All right. Defense have a little work to do. Trying the right side. Look at him stand him up and pushing him back. Will Julian in on the stop. Carly again the ball carrier, but nudging closer and closer to this side of the field just in front of us. 16-yard line. 3rd and 3 from just inside the 22-yard line. So big stop coming up. You'll take the points when you can get them, but we'll see first what happens on 3rd down, likely 4-down territory. Up, movement on the line. There's the flag. Hey, let's see if Cooper can get the flag. So we got Cooper Mayborn running the scorebook. That baby. Jackson to my left keeping stats. Keegan, there's Keegan's view just to my right. You can't do that. Yeah, I don't want to turn my crowd mic up too much because it's a pretty windy day. But the Byron student section shouting out, "You can't do that." As I look to my right and I see quite a few fans of the Byron Tigers encouraging the defense, including Officer Morrissey. I just saw him to our right. All right, they're going to spread it out a little bit. It's as wide as our camera goes. Pass, flat, left side, just in front of us. A punishing tackle. J.J. Edmondson over, but a pretty decent gain there for Richmond-Burton, and they're moving the ball. And it'll be first and goal. Yeah, they'll put the chain gang away here, first and goal. And the Tiger defense has got to do work. No score, as you can see, down to about 5 minutes left in this opening period. As the Tiger defense right in front of us have got work to do. Calling signals. Inside handoff. Still scampering. Avoiding and down inside the 5. Number of white jersey defenders. There's D. Crid to the right of your picture. But the Rockets moving the ball. They're talking things over in the huddle. Again, Hanneman is the quarterback. Hunter Carley has shouldered a heavy load in the backfield for the Rockets. Down to the Tiger 5-yard line. Here they go. Power formation. Inside handoff. It's going to be close. He's going to be short. Nice hold there by the defense of the Tigers, keeping them out of the end zone. They're going to get some beef in the middle there. Tigers were doing that a week ago, by the way, kind of changing between a 3 and a 4-man front. And they've got as much beef in there on that interior defensive line as they can. With Polich, Alvarez, Dalton Norris, Zion Gatier. They're going to jam the middle, left side, Will Julian. That's as close as they are here inside the 5. There's the handoff. And into the end zone for the score. That's the air horn. And Carley punched it in, and the Rockets take the early lead. A drive that lasted about 9 minutes. Several passing plays on third down to pick up firsts. But other than that, really nothing that we haven't seen if we look in the mirror here in Byron. A lot of running plays. The kick is up, and it is good. All right, a little beep from the air horn, and the Tigers have some work cut out for them as they trail it early here in Rocket Country, 7-0. Well, I know my wife's listening and watching. I don't think my mom is, but either of them would be frustrated with me because, I feel like a kid. I went out without my hat and gloves. I know I brought them. You doing okay over there, boys? It's cold. It's windy. And, yeah, my hands are cold. How you doing over there, Keeg? Keegan is working the camera to our right. And there's his view. So at the last minute, we don't have Nick and Riley here. More on that in a little bit. But Avon is doing a heck of a job up there. If you didn't catch this earlier, we don't have the widescreen lens up there atop the press box. That's about as wide as we can get if it's not, the greatest. Oh, nearly a disaster down there just in front of us. Isaac Alvarez eventually falling on the ball. Alvarez, by the way, who had his finger pulled back so badly in the first game of the season way back in early August in Rock Falls that he tore tendons and missed basically the entire rest of the regular season. Anyway, the Tigers on offense for the first time will go to work. The Pharaoh, Dalton Norris, is under center with Talbert there in a double tight end set. There they go. Dawson Criddle nudging ahead past the 25. We won't be seeing that touchdown into your living room for the Tigers until a little bit, until we get a chance to turn things around. Meanwhile, Richmond-Burton leading the Tigers at the 2:53 mark here in the opening period. Hey, I love it when my buddies blow up my phone during the broadcast so I can look at that. I don't monitor the chat, really. I do a little bit kind of before and after, maybe a little bit at halftime. We keep the chat open with Talbert running the ball. And a good defensive stop there for the maroon and gold jerseyed Rockets. Hey, how about this? Be excellent to each other is my motto, and I say that in the classroom. I say that at the end of my broadcast. But, hey, be excellent to each other in the chat. And if you can't do that, I'm not monitoring it because I'm broadcasting the game. I guess you make yourself look kind of like an idiot with your rage baiting and your unkind comments. But, you know, we'd much rather keep the chat open so that people can interact and, you know, tell each other where they're watching from. But full disclosure, we are not monitoring the chat. All right, there's a flag down. Oh, he's got to see the play. There you go. The official was trying to get us. So the guys couldn't see the play clock, and it wasn't us. It was somebody to our left, so we were just trying to help out the cause there. All right, after the flag, Tigers 3rd down and 8, ball on the 26. Talbert calling signals. Inside handoff and falling forward, but not a whole lot there. Good defensive hold for Richmond-Burton. Hey, tons of game left, but right now looking very much like that, you know, worthy of their number 1 seed. So difficult to rank the teams. You got your edgy Tims and you got your, you know, you got everybody around the state that likes to talk about this and that as far as the rankings, but at the end of the day, you got to play the game. All right, camera comes into focus. So too does the defense of the Tigers. There is not much on the return. And once again, the Tiger defense will charge back out onto the field. Hey, I got guys watching from the tree stand. I know you, come on, you hunters. No, I like to make fun of my buddies, especially if they don't get anything. But is that even work, Prav, out there in the tree stand? You got a Pepsi in one hand and you're watching your phone or the iPad. Is that even work, buddy? All right, back to work. Speaking of doing work, the Tigers need to do work and get this ball back. Need a takeaway. Buddy of mine back in Byron likes to get his checkbook out and make a donation to the Byron boosters every time the Tigers defense takes the ball away. Under 30 seconds left in this opening period. About 15 seconds left on the play clock. 2nd and long. They're going to spread it out. Receiver to the right side, covered there by Landon Bonvalet. They'll try the right side. Ooh, was the ball loose? Hey, we might have called it, boys. Yeah, let's go. Prophetic. Uh-oh. Guys in stripes are talking things over out there at midfield. The Tigers thought they had, and I think they do. If they did, my buddies better get his checkbook out. Yep. We got it, boys. Let's go. Was it JJ? Yeah, the kid. All right. Just over 2 seconds, the Byron offense, they heard us talking about him. They did the defense, and we got it back. There's a pitch out to Considine. Time expires. Consi still on his feet, escorted out of bounds in a great-looking position. Hey, boys, that's on us, man. I think they heard us talking about the turnover. What's that? About 15 yards on the carry. Jackson Mayborn will have some stats for us at halftime. Hey, the Brants listening in from back home as well. Just kind of checking my oh, I even got a Prov. I got a tree stand picture. Hey, you see all those deer in the picture, Prov? I don't know if you can see them. Where's all the deer, buddy? Oh, Prov is. Oh, my wife had to let me know that. She sent me the eye roll emoji that I forgot my coat and hat back in the car. Hey, we had a lot of setup to do, okay? It is cold, though, huh, boys? I'm good. Hey, the Mayborns, being that we have both Jackson and Cooper helping out, they brought us this enormous, I'm going to call it a Bavarian pub pretzel, guys. And I can't get any of that until halftime, but it looks friggin' good. So thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Mayborn. I thought there was a pizza in there, and when you guys opened that up and I saw the pretzel, man, that's tough right there. All right, turning things around. Let's see if we can get something into our living rooms here. Back to work. Inside handoff. Considine. Nothing there. Big pile up. Yeah, nothing there, but all right, we needed one. It was a gain earlier of about 9. So first down and 10 from the 25-yard line. There's the boys in white talking things over. Almost into the red zone are the Tigers. There's the pitch. There goes Considine. Here he comes into your living room. Atta baby! Let's go! We knew we'd get one of those touchdowns right into your living room. Let's go, baby! Boyer right here. Hudson Boyer. We'll see him suited up for the Tigers soon enough. All right. You can see that cloudy sky here as the Tigers are on the scoreboard. Down by 1. Denton Shank with the hold. And David Cunningham lining things up, as you can see. We'll get the end zone look at it. Boom, it's up. And, oh, off the crossbar, the doink. But it's good. Keegan on the camera there. Yeah, I know, for real. Jackson says Chicago Bears PTSD for real. But they doinked it through, did the Tigers, and we got a tie ball game. Hey, there's my daughter's down there doing work somewhere among those cheerleaders. Good work there, Avon. As the Tigers are finally on the board. Hudson, you want some pretzel? Ah, Cooper, you got to share your pretzel, big fella. Couple of 8th graders here to my left. Hudson, of course, the oldest of the Jeff Boyer kids. I'm sure Ray is here. Is your mom here? Yeah, Ray's here. Jeff Boyer's parents, Ron, likely here. All right. Tie ball game. David Cunningham set to kick off. I almost said Leif Erikson. Wow. Lars did a lot of the kicking off a week ago, as the kick might go out of bounds, as you can see from our camera angle there. So even though we're out in the elements, it really is true. We got a lot of feedback that people liked our angles and vantage points a couple of weeks ago in North Boone. So kind of a happy accident that we're down here, and we're very much enjoying the view, including Caden Considine into your living room. As Jackson's doing some stats to my left, and he'll be able to tell us at halftime how everything adds up. 35-yard line after the ball caromed out of bounds from David Cunningham. Rockets back to work. Yeah, wide to the right side, Twins left. Out of your picture now. Inside handoff, though. It's that big fullback doing work. Number 6. Down to the 33. Or, excuse me, down to the 39-yard line. Excuse me. I think they were crediting Ben Hively, number 33, with the stop defensively for the Tigers. 2nd and 5 as the Rockets talk things over. I love seeing Old Glory in the screen there, the stars and bars of the greatest country on the planet. All right, another inside handoff, pulling him backwards. Dalton Norris. This is about the time, by the way, where the cold starts creeping into my, not only the extremities like my hands, but they kind of start getting between your ears as well, making the words a little bit harder to find, but that's okay. It's cold for everybody. Cheerleaders are in full regalia over there to our right. They got the winter stuff on. Yeah, the student section is making some noise. All right, trying to encourage the defense of the Tigers here on 3rd down and 4. Looking to pass. Over the middle on a slant to midfield, caught. And it was Jason Nelson making the grab. He's a big target, listed in the program. Just under 200 pounds, a junior, but 6'6". So a good-looking target over the middle, and that'll move the chains for the Rockets. Robbie Goalie is in family, watching from the laptop in the car. Got that good Wi-Fi going. Got a good hotspot. Oh, kind of a broken play there. Fumbled snap. No, a flag is down. Okay. Offsides again. Man, didn't need that. I'm not sure who they got down there, but an offsides penalty to help the cause of the Rockets. 1st down and 5 after the penalty. I don't believe there was a single flag thrown against the Tigers a week ago. Throw over the middle and caught. Good enough for a 1st down. Had to change my camera angle there again just to make sure we could see what was going on. And the Rockets are in business just beyond the red zone. Hey, somebody keeps getting their hand in front of Avon's cam. Would you guys text him over there? Avon's got to have a clear view. Hey, Jackson. Yeah, text that a baby. Sorry for if we were on ESPN or something, I think we'd be able to, use use a production crew or something like that. But we We got to get Avon to carve out some space up there, big fella, so we can see what's going on. All right, 2nd and 4, ball inside the 20. You can see the Rockets there, breaking the huddle, and then back to work. All right, Avon's having a little bit of a problem up there. We'll see if we can work through that. And we normally have, and by the way, Avon is awesome on the camera with his camera work. He does a great job for us. But we got the call that Riley Lorden, by the way, Riley, we can't say his name enough, him and Nick Christian. We couldn't do what we do without the efforts of these Byron grads. But Riley's at a conference, okay, and he had the opportunity to interview the cast of an upcoming movie, which is pretty awesome. More on that in a minute, but back to the important part here, 3rd down and 1. There's a big fella. Another first down, and the Rockets are in business. Riley Shea, big number 45. 215. Junior, 6-footer. Picked up the first down, and ball is, they're saying it's right on the 11-yard line. Anyway, normally we'd have Nick or Riley up there, and Avon, as good as he is, he's trying to battle for some real estate up there in the press box, it looks like. All right, off a right tackle, good ball security there as he wrapped it in tightly, did Carly, despite being draped by several Byron defenders in the process. They can get a first down, could the Rockets, down there on that far side of the field. Second down and 8. This will be whistled dead. No, a timeout, yeah. Byron wanted to call a timeout. Okay, I'm going to put my headset down and see if we can't communicate with Avon. Again, folks, he's doing a heck of a job for us, but he may not even really be aware that as he fights for real estate up there that sometimes we're losing a little bit of the picture. So we'll communicate with Avon, and we'll be back here in just a moment. Okay. All right, back to work here after the timeout. Jeff Boyer and his crew wanted to talk things over. Nose of the ball just inside the 10. We'll call it the 9-yard line. Again, Avon trying to battle for some real estate up there in the press box. Looking to pass. Tipped and falling incomplete. Opportunity there for another takeaway for the Tiger defense, but no go. Ball at the 9. Rockets talking things over. Inside handoff and doing work down to about the 3. Carly, the ball carrier. Once again, the Rockets threatening to score. All right, I think they're going to bring out the field goal team here on 4th down. Awaiting the snap. Again, it is very cold. The snap is good. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Yep, there's the air horn. Those 3 points, by the way, to the Rockets, so a little glitch there with the score bug. And the Rockets have regained the lead 10-7. All right. We got a ball game. This is what we expected. Formerly a Big Northern Conference matchup, as Jackson gave us a little bit of the history. Jackson, for anybody that's viewing with us now that wasn't there earlier, when was the last time these two teams played?
In the playoffs,
2002. Jeff Boyer's younger brother, David. I was around for that, by the way. 2002, just a few years ago. But younger brother David, who's now on the coaching staff, was the quarterback for the Tigers at the time. Just a few years back. But yeah, Richmond-Burton used to be in our conference. That's a long drive, almost an hour and a half. I remember the bus rides up here. Geesh, we got here in, quicker than that in the car, driving the speed limit, I might add. But, by bus, significantly longer, and these country roads up here into rural northern Illinois. All right, so to finish my story, as we were saying, Riley and Nick are not able to be here today. So we had to punt, if you will, anecdotally. And Avon, who does a fantastic job for us, is up there in the press box. But as you can see, there's some, fighting for his life up there. He's moving the camera now. I think we got through to him. But just a little bit of a different camera angle. Normally Nick would be on the sideline. Anyway, here we go. Let's go, baby. Come on. Come on. All the way right into our living room. Come on, baby. Concy takes it to the house. That a boy. We don't need that press box camera. If somebody's up there with some shenanigans trying to make things difficult for our guy Avon, we didn't need it, baby. That a baby Boyer. Hudson Boyer right behind us. That a babe. And see, there's that happy accident. And maybe there's the takeaway. We'll do a little philosophy, a little philosophizing, is that sometimes, life, the lemons and the lemonade and all of that. We had a pretty friggin' awesome view of that one as the kick is up and, ooh, not a good one. Man, I know the wind is blowing a little bit. We had the doink off the upright earlier, and this one just to the side and not good. So basically what we see is the Tigers and the Rockets of Richmond-Burton trading 3-point leads. The 6 points with the Considine touchdown, his second of the day, and then the mixed extra point to make it 13-10. All right. Hey, Derek, we had a baby Wheeler. I knew somebody would chime in here. 2002, Dan Stanley. I love all these guys. Wilmarth, Wheeler. Oh, David Boyer was a few years later, was he? So, D. Wheels, that was you? We beat Richmond-Burton in the second round at home. Donovan Moore, I remember him. Heck of a player, absolutely. Ryan Considine was the junior. Hey, thanks for setting us straight, D. Wheels. That a boy? As the kickoff comes our way. Oh, and they kind of fell into each other, did two players for Richmond-Burton. Kind of a broken, busted-looking play with the wind picking up a little bit here. Tigers leading it 13-10. Hey, how long did you have Concy for the touchdown there, big fella? About 80-ish. 80-ish. We know he took the ball right into our living room. D. Wheels, good to hear from you, big fella. Yeah, man, I remember that team well. I was a relatively new teacher. One of my first years in Byron back in 2002. I remember all those guys. And I absolutely do remember Donovan Moore, the quarterback. He was good. He could really throw the ball. It's a good conference back then. All right, back to work. Go the Rockets. Trying that far side of the field. He's got some space to number 6. That's Hunter Carley. Hey, I know they didn't have this turf, Derek, back in the day. But I remember coming down here for softball and football, a host of other things. Just tucked just inside the Wisconsin border here in northern Illinois. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Ball on the 41-yard line. Here they go, inside handoff. There you go. Hey, let me finish the story I've tried telling about 5 times. So anyway, Riley has an opportunity. Riley Lorden and Nick Christian, grads of Byron, normally would be running. We'd have a lot of different things going on with our cameras, so we had to punt, and that's okay. And they had the opportunity today to film at a convention the cast of an upcoming horror movie, and Riley Lorden is like really into that genre. And we don't have those guys today, so we're doing our best with a camera up there, and it looks like Avon is continuing to kind of fight for some real estate up there. And if we have to at halftime, we'll move them around a little bit. And man, I tell you what, we have an awesome crew. Keegan running the sideline cam. He's got those. Hey, we kind of talked about it right before it happened, right? That one of the happy accidents of broadcasting down here in the end zone is the touchdown into your living room, and we've been privileged with 2 Considine touchdowns in that regard. Great defensive hold there by the Tigers. Equal to the task on a big situation. The Tiger defense gets the job done, and we'll switch things around. Boy, that was gutsy there. Isaac Alvarez in on the stop there, yeah. Gutsy play, and the Rockets are going to have to be equal to the task themselves now in a gutsy play out at midfield. They're not used to being turned aside, are the Rockets, against a very stingy defense of the Tigers. All right, Byron ball. Talbert on the option, tucks it in, keeps it himself, diving ahead to about the 40-yard line. In Rocket territory, I would add. Yeah, it's cold. Keegan, you hanging in there, big fella? 3:13 left in the second. Second down and 8 after a gain of 2. All right, JJ, as you can see, wide to the right. Back to Avon's camera angle and inside handoff, Considine. Considine. What did he say? Hey, Considine. That's a new one. Our discerning viewers know the senior plays on both sides of the ball for the Tigers, and his dad, our defensive coordinator, Sean Considine. All right, 3rd and 3. Now, this would undoubtedly be 4 down territory for Byron. Kind of surprising again that Richmond-Burton went for it moments ago, but that's in the past. The Tigers on offense trying to get one more into the end zone. Big pile up down there. I think we got it. Andrew Talbert, the quarterback, going to UNC on a baseball scholarship. There he is talking things over with Boyer and then back into the huddle. 1st down and 10. Ball to the 30-yard line. Tigers with the ball and plenty of time here in the waning moments of this second quarter. One lone receiver to the right. There's the handoff. Considine trying to get to that far side. Once again, the PA voice says Considine. Nice looking gain there for Considine, a scamper of about 11 yards as they're trying to get back into the end zone once again. All right, everybody and their mother coming over here into the end zone to take pictures. There you go. Listening to us as we ask for some space for our camera angles. Over the middle and then to the right. Down into the end zone, touchdown. Pushing a defender aside. Considine once again. We're going to go for two. Considine was coming out, but we're going to try the 2-point conversion. All right, so just to kind of go back, the Rockets on 4th and short at about midfield. In fact, in Byron territory, gutsily, if that's a word, courageously, and in hindsight, foolishly, decided to go for it. And were denied, and the Tigers marched down and were able to punch one more touchdown in. Here we go, going for two. And he's into the end zone. Talbert for two. At a kid. And we get that point back that eluded us on the last touchdown with the missed extra point. And 21-10. And there's the cheerleaders. Again, my daughter among them, warming things up a little bit and doing some work. One jumping jack for every point scored. Thanks for listening, everybody. We love that you're viewing and listening to our broadcast. We do our best to have a little fun with it, make it a community broadcast, right? This isn't ESPN. This is Byron Tigers Live, and at halftime maybe we can tell you a little bit more about our hopes for this platform. But it's a student-centered production crew, and we'll make sure to let you know who these students are here in just a minute or two when we get to halftime. All right, David Cunningham kicking right at us. Ball bouncing and picked up. You can see number 8 almost stepped out of bounds. I guess he didn't. There we go. And the Rockets with was that Nathan? Was that Nathan? Yeah. Yeah, but that's part of the game, and the important thing is he got himself right back up and ready to do work, baby. Nate Wheeler down there, you could. Hey, we have we don't have it set up today. We do have a replay capabilities, but especially with not having Riley and Nick here today and kind of our unusual setup, we decided not to mess with it. But if at any time you wanted to go back and rewatch a play, you could on, just using the scrolling back and forth, on YouTube, should you wish to do so. Yeah, Avon is telling me he's carving out some real estate up there. Hey, proud of our boys. We'll get all their names for you, and if you see them around town, man, these guys have done a great job all season. All right, Dawson Criddle. Zion Gatier in on the stop. A bunch of guys making things hard there for the forward progress of the Rockets. Boy, I tell you what's warming up the crowd is the play of the Tigers here in these last several minutes. Fans in attendance standing up in the bleachers, most of them. Of course, the student section, and then behind us and to the right, lots of fans along the fence line. And a timeout, Richmond-Burton to talk things over. All right, hey, if you see these guys around town, give them a high five because they've done a fantastic job for us throughout the season. On the camera angle that you see right here, our end zone cam, that's Keegan Mitchell, Byron Jr. We'll switch it over to the press box cam. Avon's fighting for his life up there with just tons of people up there atop the press box. By the way, I can say, even in Byron, and we say this with love, but, you know, these postseason games bring out everybody and their mother to the press box. And there's a lot of people that have meant a lot to these communities, right, over time, and guys that used to suit up, people that have, you know, worked at the school and helped out, volunteered. Everybody wants a little slice of real estate, but we're grateful to these guys here. All right, 5 seconds left. Coming out of the timeout, Richmond-Burton just trying to maintain possession, and there's the horn, and we have now reached halftime. Tigers will charge right into your living room here as they'll talk things over at the half. Job, boys! There they are. Let's go. We're doing something, baby. All right. We're not going to voyeur into their conversations. Atta baby, Ben. We're not going to voyeur into their conversations. You can, hey, guys, wave. Avon's got us on there. That's us. We tried to set up the tent, and we could have done so if we would have been able to stake right down into this track. And, you know, we won't be doing that. We did think about it, though, didn't we, Jackson? Hey, we got a brand new track in Byron. Let's go, boys. Proud of these guys. Atta baby Talbert. All right, boys. Stay focused. All right, we're turning our crowd mic off lest anything get picked up. Tell you what, I'm going to turn my mic off as well. Me and Avon are going to have a chat to make sure he can carve out some room. Yeah, he lifted it up. He's going to be down there. Okay, here's our boys. You got a great looking view of things. Guys getting some calories and getting a chance to talk things over. All right, me and Avon are going to have a chat. He's all the way up in the press box, but I'm going to give him a call. And Jackson, you're going to have some stats for us here in a little bit? All right. Cameras are going to stay on. We're going to turn our audio off. As you can see, we're basically in the huddle ourselves. Boom. All right. We'll join you with our audio here in just a little bit. Hey, we're back in the end zone, and we're just about ready for second half action with the Tigers leading the Rockets of Richmond-Burton by a halftime score of 21-10. Hey, I want to give a huge shout out to my awesome student broadcast crew. To my right is Keegan Mitchell, and you can see his end zone camera work as we speak. Avon Walschmidt was down here with us at halftime. You know, our student production crew got a chance to talk things over. He's making his way back up into the top of the press box, and he thinks he's got a plan to carve out a little bit more room. So remember, we're here in Richmond, and there wasn't a ton of room in the press box, so we said, hey, we can set up in the end zone. We've done that before, and we like that. And anyway, Avon went up there. He was kind of all by his lonesome when he set up, but then the next thing you know, there's about 25 people up there. So playing kind of the hand that we were dealt, but having a lot of fun. To my left was Jackson Mayborn and his younger brother Cooper. And those guys have taken a little walk, and we think that they'll be back soon. There they are. There's Cooper. Cooper, atta baby. Hey, to the right is somebody hey, look, hey, Mibbs brought you a coat. Atta baby, there's Jeff Milburn.
Who needs a coat?
What's up, big fella?
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing good, man.
How many viewers?
Right now it's, I don't know, it was 1.3 a little bit ago, 1,300, 1,400, and
Let's go.
yeah, man, enjoying it. Where are you sitting? Oh, you're standing over there. Yeah, friggin' awesome. We were just commenting that first drive, Richmond-Burton looked pretty good, but we started doing Byron things, and
Took us a while. We weren't ready for the. I mean, that was a long drive.
yeah.
We weren't ready for the smash mouth.
Yep. It's a team that's, we're much more used to, with that, Byron Tiger, kind of like Big Northern, Big Ten type of football. So, hey, we got Jeff Milburn that came over and offered one of the guys a coat. And all right, see you, Mibbs. Hey, Jackson, did you have any stats you wanted to enlighten our viewers with here before we go back to work? All right, here's Jackson Mayborn with some stats here. We got to make it quick, but Jackson, here you go, big fella.
Struggling to kind of put on the headset here, but it's still windy and cold here in Richmond. But we've got a lot of action from Caden Considine. He is tied with Ben Hively in tackles right now, leading this game. He's got 14 or 15, I don't even know. He's also doing a lot of the work for us offensively. He's got a couple key runs that have led to touchdowns for us. He had a 20-yarder that kind of led to a big touchdown to kind of start us off. And then he broke away for a huge one, 80 yards down the sideline for his second of the day. 2 touchdowns for us in the second quarter. Actually, 3. It's cold. I've got a runny nose. I wish I was sitting in my living room right now, but we can't because we got Byron Tigers Live to bring you. But we're about to have some second half action here, so I'm going to give it to Mr. Burris.
Atta baby Jackson Mayborn, keeping some stats, keeping us on our toes down here with some great Jackson Mayborn storytelling as well. All right, back to work here. Tigers leading at 21-10. A little bit colder, a little bit windier. At least that's the feel here as we get set. And I don't know if Avon made it back up into the press boxes. We're going to have to keep it with our view for the time being. From the end zone. All right, I'm kind of multitasking here. There's Avon. I think that a baby. We see that orange hood. Milburn asked us how many guys are watching. Right now, 1,500 simultaneous views. That's awesome. We're glad to have you guys along. This is a great high school football game here in Richmond. Back to work as we're underway here in this second half. Tigers with the football. Tigers trailed it early on, 7-0. Took the Tigers a little bit of time, as I was kind of talking to Jeff Milburn minutes ago, to start doing Tiger things, right? You know, kind of just little by little getting back in the game. And somebody in the chat said, I hate to tell you this, but Tigers are just going to start stepping on the gas, and that's what Byron does, and that's what they're doing. All right, down the right side, you can get a great look there from the Keegan cam. We don't need to call it that necessarily, but hey, Dylan Nelson, the sophomore, inspired at halftime along with the rest of the boys from the likes of Jeff Boyer and Chad Wilmarth and the rest of the coaching staff. Hey, we did want to turn the audio down, although a bunch of guys were texting me and saying, man, it'd be great if you guys could turn the audio up and listen in, but hey, you know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so to speak, right? All right, Talbert under center. In other words, what Jeff Boyer was talking with the boys about was between him and the boys. First down for the Tigers, understatedly by the PA voice, and we do it too, but you know, the PA voice will make a little bit more noise when your team does something cool, and very understatedly saying that the Tigers picked up another first down. Ball on the 42-yard line. There goes the Pharaoh Norris. We'll try to get you that starting lineup in case you missed it early in the broadcast. Talbert under center. There's the pitch to Considine. He's got some blocking, does Considine. Pushing guys aside of the 40. Runs kind of into Cole Aiken down there, number 5. But a nice-looking gain there for Considine on the scamper. And the chains move and doing work here early in this third period. All right. Dalton Norris, the center. Hammis and Stein to his right and left, respectively. Polich and Nelson out there as well. That's that offensive line. We'll get to the rest of these skill players here in a minute. There goes Caden Considine, diving ahead, somersaulting to about the 21. But importantly, taking some wind out of the sails of Richmond-Burton, who again led it 7-0, but since then it's been all Byron. Listen for the likes of Unk. Is that an official nickname, guys, for Talbert? He's going to UNC. He'll play baseball there. He's only a junior, but he's already been signed a letter of intent to play Division I baseball at UNC for the Tar Heels, as we can see a timeout signaled for on the part of the defense. Anyway, Talbert under center. Backfield will at times include number 4, D. Crid, Dawson Criddle. Number 37, Caden Considine. Number 27, J.J. Edmondson. And number 5, Cole Aiken, who missed most of the season with an injury. And as I look to my right, I see his older brother Kai and his dad Scott over there. Kai, who came down from the North Country, where he attends college, to watch his little brother. So is that a final, or is that? Yeah, fourth quarter. So Tolono over St. Joe? St. Joseph Ogden, what was the score, big guy? 45-29, Tolono Unity over St. Joseph Ogden. And again, Jackson Mayborn, our statistician, doing work. All right, back to work. Go the Tigers on offense. Ball on the 23-yard line. There goes Consi. Consi trying to spin his way through, but swarmed upon eventually. Ball down inside, just shy of the 20-yard line. We'll call it 2nd out and 8 from the 21. It's starting to get cold. You guys cold? Jackson, you just got that nice coat. Cooper is down there. Cooper, by the way, Mayborn, is keeping the score bug. As you can see, JJ to the top of your screen. Instead, an inside handoff to Considine. Draped by a couple of defenders there, but still moving the ball and hoping very soon to once again move the chains. Good camera work there by Avon. Avon Welchschmidt up in the press box. Atta baby, look at him up there, boys. He did indeed carve out a little bit more real estate with which to work, and a great camera angle and picture for your viewing pleasure from Avon. I definitely geeked out with the tech a week ago when I was talking about the 1080p's and everything. I spoke too soon as somebody's encumbering the view just a little bit. Considine, far side. Considine stumbling into the end zone, touchdown. Caden Considine back into the end zone for the Tigers, and Byron looking good as they begin the scoring in the third, 27-10. Considine's third of the day. Got a little bit of a crowd, Mike. You can even doing his best over there. All right, that'll give us this view of things as an inside handoff. Tigers going for the jugular with D. Crid across the goal line and into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. I'm not sure that's so much going for the jugular as it is that our kicking game has suffered a little bit. And look at the boys moving around. That's how cold it is. Of course, they're excited enjoying the 19-point lead, but it is brisk and cold, and the wind is helping it seep into the bones a little bit more than it might normally do. And that's why my phone is blowing up with everybody saying that they're enjoying watching from the comfort of their living room. Now, we will say this as well. We want to ensure that we want to make sure people know that, you know, we still want a great crowd, but the metrics suggest that the people that were going to come, and the people that wanted to stay home with the Pepsi or maybe even a hot cocoa today and watch from the comfort of their home will do what they need to do. Hey, life happens. We've got people on cruises. We had several people overseas a week ago. Some guys on road trips, and somebody even from their deer stand early. Hey, Prav, you gotta check in and let us know if you got anything, big fella. All right, there's the kick. So once again, we've got a good-looking, camera angle up there from Avon. There's his view, but it's not the wide-angle camera that we normally would have from up in the press box. Somebody asked in the chat what the horror movie was. I'm going to let Riley Lorden speak for himself. So follow Riley online, Riley Lorden. He does great work, by the way. He's a local videographer. He's a Byron grad. But he had the chance to interview the cast of an upcoming horror movie today and said that he wouldn't be able to join us. So we don't normally have the camera that we have up there. Meanwhile, is the Tiger defense starting to do work, and I don't believe that Richmond is, done grinding, but we've punched him in the mouth, so to speak. St. Joseph Ogden scored, says Jackson to my left, so it's an 8-point game, taking on Tolono Unity. 37 to what? 45-37 is the score in that one. All right. The Class 3A semifinal game in Richmond between the Rockets of Richmond-Burton, the hosts, taking on the number 2 seed, the Byron Tigers, looking very much the number 1 seed as this game progresses. Yep, sun peeking out just a little bit here. Hopefully that warms things up for us as it's remaining frigidly cold with the wind here in this wide open space of northern Illinois. All right, good defensive hold here for the Tigers, but regardless, carving out first down yardage. Look at the big fella, Workmeister, out there. He's only 5'10", but he's 300 pounds. Look at the big fella there who will go to work on the line, the right tackle, right guard, if you will. All right, there's the handoff. Oh, inside was Bennett Hively first on the scene, along with the snowman, middle of your screen there, number 8, Will Julian doing work. There's Cade Polich, one of our big fellas on that interior defensive line for Byron. Prov checks in, says no deer, but he's enjoying the Tiger football broadcast from the deer stand nevertheless. That a baby. Eric Providica, part of that 99 team a few years back. All right, looking to pass. It's up. Oh, and dropped right in front of us. Keegan got a great camera angle on it. J.J. Edmondson down there offering some coverage, but quite frankly, a drop. Keegan to my right, great camera work, and you could see what was developing there should the receiver been able to haul it in. Similar to a week ago where several potential touchdowns were dropped by the visitors from Immaculate Conception. They'll try the air attack this time to the flat. Somebody got him low, Criddle to slow his progress, and then Ben Hively coming over to do the rest of the work, but not before a small gain. It'll be 4th down. I got to stand up, Keegan. It's cold. I'm not sure it's going to help, but all right, cheerleaders inspiring the fans to make a little bit of noise, as that's the task that the Tigers are up against here. 4th and 5. Richmond-Burton with the football. Dropping back, rolling out, pass over the middle, interfered with, and then batted away by Talbert. That a kid? Nicely done, Andrew Talbert. Like a center fielder, tracked it down. But this time he just batted it away, and the Tigers offensively will take over. I think that was the key play in the first half. Richmond-Burton had the ball and courageously, and I say with no malice, but foolishly went for it in their own territory, and were not able to convert, and since then it's been all Byron. Considine, ooh, there's a punishing tackle on that far side of the field. down to the 34-yard line when Caden Considine, to the tune of about 8 or 9 yards. 2nd and 1 coming up. Yeah, the sun feels good, baby. Considine up the middle, first down yardage. So for the tech-savvy viewer, we were able to, turn everything up to, full bore with the kilobits technically per second. Anyway, it's a bunch of tech jargon, but with that good Ethernet connection back in Byron, we had just a fantastic picture quality. We're broadcasting from a cellular hotspot connection right now, but the picture to me looks pretty good considering, especially with the sun coming out now, coloring things up a little bit. Caden Considine doing work, and again, the Tigers chewing up a little clock, trying to advance to Bloomington. A little early to really get serious about that conversation, but right now the Tigers in the driver's seat, leading it 29-10. And we're up to 1.7K simultaneous streams, and that's you, and we're glad to have you along. Inside handoff. Now Talbert, kept it himself. Hey, these are all good guys, man. I'm privileged to teach at the school, as are many of the others listening. I know they're listening and viewing because they're texting me. Of course, many of them are at the game. Hey, one of my buddies, colleague and coach, Mike McHale, is in New York watching the game, but we're proud of these boys. These guys are good dudes, and we love how hard they've worked. And fantastic season thus far. Caden Considine, number 37, is knocked out of bounds, but into the red zone for the Tigers. Good enough for another first down. Ball marked at the 18. Somebody said, hey, you never know. Talking to Jackson over here. All right, yep, little bit of a tough camera angle there, but that's D. Crid down near the end zone. There's our camera angle up in the press box, as Avon is really just trying his best to carve out some space with which to work, but he's kind of in enemy territory as he's up there standing among the I see Avon, yep. He and I are kind of making contact. He's kind of standing up against, among the enemy coaches up there. So face mask call. Meanwhile, I was up looking at Avon. I was so proud of these guys, not only the players, but this broadcast crew of Keegan Mitchell, Avon Waldschmidt, Jackson Mayborn. His younger brother Cooper joined us today. And hey, let's not forget about Easton, my son, who wasn't able to join us today, but he's been part of our production crew. In fact, he was the OG student that was joining me in our broadcasts a year ago. Into the end zone, touchdown! Considine once again. I think he had a hat trick earlier. Is that his fourth, Jackson? Jackson Mayborn, our statistician to my left, and Considine back into the end zone once again. And the Tigers have opened up a can here in Richmond over the Rockets. Our kicking game has struggled a little bit. And I think we're gonna go for two. There's Keegan's view. Oh, did he? Had a baby. Tiptoeing into the corner of the end zone just across the goal line for Andrew Talbert, and he makes it 37-10. Woo! Starting to shiver a little bit here. What? You guys check your phone. What's it say, the temperature? I don't think it's that terrible. I think we're just like right in the middle of the wide open space, and feels like 40. Gosh, it feels a lot chillier to me. I think it's just the wind.
46.
I'm taking a sip of this. It says Fire Brewed Craft Soda Sprecher root beer that your mom and dad brought us. Thanks, buddy. Having a Pepsi. I'm not drinking Pepsi. I'm drinking root beer. Somebody else might be drinking a Pepsi though. Yeah.
All right, Rocket fans, come on, let's hear it.
All right, David Cunningham will do the honors. So it's in the low 40s, but it's just the wind that's just brutal. As you can see, the stars and stripes there blowing. Being that we're the visitors, our guy Avon is getting no sympathy, especially now that the Tigers have opened up a sizable lead. All right, Richmond-Burton, their fans starting to make some noise, trying to encourage them. I mean, waning moments of this third quarter. We do not want to tempt the fates, with our broadcast, but the Tigers just have to continue to do Tiger things, and things looking very good for them to advance to the state championship in about a week in Bloomington. There's a conversation for the chat, which, by the way, I am not monitoring. We leave the chat open as a courtesy. Every now and then some rage baiters find their way into the chat, and that's, makes no difference to me. They can say what they want to say, but the chat is open for those of you that want to talk about football and kind of participate in the community aspect of the broadcast. But anyway, there's a conversation, whether you're back at home in the living room or in the chat, wherever you might be. How do people feel about Bloomington? Not as a city, of course, but as a host for the state championship. Yeah, DeKalb. DeKalb isn't bad for us because it's not, just a little hop, skip, and a jump. But good old Champaign. About most of the people my age, Champaign gets the lion's share of the preference for the Gen Xers. All right, time expiring in the third, and you can see the fans. You can see the white jersey Tigers holding up 4 digits for the fourth quarter. Yeah, thanks, Brock. Man, a bunch of former players and, Byron alums, but here's Brock Cunningham. Sends me this picture that, it's only 40, it's 47, but it has a feel like of 36 because of the wind ripping through northern Illinois right now. Of course, we're right down in the end zone in the thick of it. We were prepared. We brought a tent, but we would have had to stake down into the track here, and we thought that maybe that wouldn't be a good idea. Hey, Greg Ferrucci is listening in and participating with the broadcast, and sometimes forgets that my name's not Ray. Hey, Ferrucci. Gooch, that was my cousin, Ray. Used to pitch for the Cubs. Not Not disclaimer, not my actual cousin, in case anybody chooses to Google that one. Ray Burris. Yeah, he pitched for the Cubs back in the day. Good to hear from you, Ferrucci. All right. To the fourth quarter we go. Third down and 3, 37-yard line, as we'll switch things around. Don't worry, boys. We'll be back in the van in a little bit, and we'll be able to pump that hot air. And hopefully we'll be feeling good with a Tiger dub. All right, yep, that's got to be some movement. Jackson could see it from the end zone over here.
Actually, you could just say false start on the center infraction. I don't even know what to call it.
On the center?
When everyone jumps, but
Yeah, look at him talk things over.
I don't really understand that.
Yeah, false start. Jackson had eyes on it. I was looking at my tech, but one of those plays where like everybody on the line, you know, listening to the cadence of the quarterback, you know, moved. The only guy that didn't was the center. the one guy that you needed to do something. All right. Third down and long after the 5-yard infraction. Looking to pass. He puts it up, and it's going to be overthrown. The intended target, Jace Nelson, down there. And he was well covered by a couple of Tiger defenders. But the ball was overthrown regardless. Hey guys, Mr. Wessel checked in. Said you guys are killing it. Timeout, Richmond-Burton. Hey, let me know when you got a final on that other game, bud. Tolono Unity and St. Joseph Ogden. Yeah, again, not monitoring the chat, but I do wonder what people are saying. We kind of breached the subject earlier of where do people like their IHSA state football championship. 2 minutes left, so Tolono's still up by 7, 8? They went up more. Oh, 51-37. Tolono Unity. Wow. I know it's kind of a hike for those of us in the Byron environs all the way down to Champaign, but that's kind of the OG, you know, state finals. It's been in DeKalb, it's been in Bloomington now. Talk about the Iowa state finals here in Dustin Ellsbury, Byron grad, here in just a second. What do we got?
Official timeout on the field.
Yeah, officials timeout. Oh, tell the kid to get out of there and get his mouth guard. Hey, that's the guy calling signals for Richmond-Burton. Anyway, Dustin Ellsbury, Byron grad and former Byron player, son of Mike and Cindy Ellsbury. You'll know those names if you're a part of Tiger Nation. And his younger brother, Tyler Ellsbury, who had a great career at the University of Iowa. Dustin, I believe, at Coe College, Cedar Rapids. Took his team for the, to the state championship game and lost it in overtime. But that was at the Unidome. So they actually play in the Dome. Yeah, at University of Northern Iowa. Keegan's camera work there was kind of like watching golf. He kind of got watching the drive high into the air, and that was the punt. And you can see that there is a little bit of sun, and Avon continuing to suffer up there in the press box, just fighting for real estate. I know I've said that several times, but I feel bad for my guy up there who's does such a great job for us. But certainly when we're spanking Richmond-Burton by 27 in the fourth, they're going to not give any sympathy to the visiting student camera operator wearing, Byron orange up there. And Avon trying to move things around just a little bit and see if he can. Atta baby. Look at Avon, guys. He's fighting up there. Look at him. I mean, not literally fighting. I don't want anyone to think our sophomore camera operator is taking on the entire coaching staff of, Richmond-Burton high atop the press box, but he's fighting for some space. Second down and 1. Jackson says 2. Fine. Second. How about this? 2nd and 1.5. How about that? Yep. Trying to stay in bounds, but dragged to the sidelines there to stop the clock by the defense to halt his progress, of course, but it ends up stopping the clock as well. As you can see, Talbert. Tigers just need to work the clock, take care of the football. There goes Considine, though. He's got plenty of room with which to work there. Great job by his offensive line. Jack Jennings, a tight end, was carving out some space down there as well. Avon still trying to fight for a little space up there. The fighter, Avon Waldschmidt. No, these guys have done an awesome job. All the credit goes to them. We are trying to see how we could move the ball forward as far as creating like an actual broadcast club, but that's kind of in discussions. And for now, it's just kind of an unofficial crew of students that help me out. And I think we've gotten a little bit of traction throughout the season, haven't we, boys, with our broadcasts? Guys, who else has helped us? Jackson Bouch. So I said Easton's not here today. He's part of our broadcast crew. Easton had to work. What's that? Yeah, Jackson Bouch. Hey, Cohen has helped a little bit with who's that down? Is that Caden? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay, so kind of down there, Keegan is that a baby? Two of our guys that are hurt. There's McGow and Auker. Somebody's texting him, say, "Hey, you guys are famous. You're on TV." So we were here doing the game when McGow got hurt with this compound fracture, which is a very unfortunate injury, and I had a chance soon after to visit him in the hospital, and he's been out for a while, obviously, and back at school, but, recovering. But then Weston Auker went down with a foot injury. All right, there he is. Can't blow him up. Talbert, that a kid. Stays in bounds. Andrew Talbert And the Tigers are starting to move the ball. We'll see if they'll be back in your living room before we know it. First and 10, Byron. Oh, Tiger student section making some noise. Love it. All right, there's JJ. Well, you'll see him in a minute. You see him there to the top of your screen. Inside handoff, Considine. Just in front of us here. Again, trying to chew up a little bit of clock. It's cold out there. I can feel that guy's pain. A Richmond-Burton player, Blake Livedall, is holding his arm. Got a little stinger out there on this frigidly cold Saturday afternoon here in Richmond. All right, back to the line of scrimmage go the Tigers. JJ wide to the left. Inside handoff, Considine. Oh, no, excuse me, D-Crid number 4. There he goes, D-Crid. Oh, they're going to catch him. Ball came out, but it was after Dawson hit the turf. Loose ball was recovered by the defense, but to no avail. First and 10, Tigers just beyond the 10-yard line. Keegan, it's all you, big fella. I'm going to let you take the video on this one. Right in front of us here. Talbert standing tall, looking things over. There's the toss. Dancing around, and hey guys, we need he's get doing. There's Rachel, and there's Scott is here from the Rockford Media. There's Jody Jones, who Rachel and Jody do such a great job taking pictures. All right, not into the end zone yet. Time ticking. All right, Keegan, all you, big boy. Oh, flag is thrown away from the sideline. Ooh, Cole Aiken shaking up a little bit on the play. He's fine. Wow. Yeah, ref just said I'll give you a 15-yard infraction for unsportsmanlike if I hear you say that again to one of the Richmond-Burton defenders. Cover your ears, Hudson Boyer. Cooper Mayborn, you 8th graders, you. All right, all Keegan right in front of us. Cole Aiken, that a kid. Trusty number 5. And I think we hit the wrong button on the score bug, but atta baby. (43-10). Hey, yeah, you're fine, big guy. You're fine. I think we're going to line it up for the kick. Denton Shank with the hold. David Cunningham. Keegan, this is going to be you, baby. We doinked one. We missed one. And this one is up and plenty of distance, and it's up and good. 44-10. And I think it's safe to say at this point, hey, order the buses for Bloomington, huh, guys? Next Friday is the cheerleaders are doing there they are. Fans are loving it, 44-10. Tell you what, guys, the way that Richmond-Burton started out, I mean, they scored first and they orchestrated a tremendous drive. But after going for it on 4th and 1, and the defense of the Tigers shutting them down, it's been all Byron since. I mean, the Richmond-Burton were able to get a field goal in that second quarter, but it's been all Byron since. You can see that wind blowing from the Stars and Stripes there, upper left of your screen. It's been frigidly cold, but the Tigers and their fans, that warm, fuzzy feeling as they'll be advancing to the state finals. Had a kid. Sounds great to say it. All right, still 7 minutes left in the game. We'll see if we start seeing some fresh faces out there for Byron, if for no other reason than to make sure people stay healthy. I see Bo is out there, guys. Bo Lundquist. I see AJ Moderato out there for Byron. There's the big fella. I see Brady Kahn, number 51, out there. Handoff, left side. Scampering back into the middle of the field. There's Bo Lundquist. Hey, there's Dylan Dock, number 25. Dock in on the stop. Dock did a great job a week ago helping out the cause, defending the air attack of Immaculate Conception. Boy, I love it when the sun comes out, guys. It just feels a little bit warmer. I think when my buddy Gooch texted and said, "Hang in there, Ray," I think he might have been a little sarcastic, as if to argue that, come on, Burris, it's not that cold out. I hear you, Gooch. It's just we're kind of out in the middle of guys. You guys are in school. Is this the glaciated or the unglaciated portion? I mean, it's flat as can be out here, and the wind is just ripping through. What's that? That a kid. Hey, there's Bo Lundquist getting him down low, wrapping him up. That a baby. Rocket first down. Tolono. Hey, check that score. I'm being told it's 51-44 Tolono. So it's down to a one-score game, like under 2 minutes left, or is that a final? Okay. Tolono Unity advancing to the finals. There's Bennett Hively in on the stop. Checking my phone here. Hey, Coach Brandt is saying, you know, golf broadcast next year. That's absolutely the case. Annie Busser checking in. Ooh, movement there on the line. Annie, is that right? Yeah, I can't think of one in the last 4 years. Mrs. Busser saying the seniors never lost a home football game. I don't think, I think that's true. I can't think of a time where we've lost. I mean, I could hardly think of times we've lost a game, period, let alone at home. Well, Montini, yeah. Yeah, somebody's at now. We cannot broadcast. Guys. Until 2 days ago, I was thinking there was no chance that we'd be able to do this game. And again, the IHSA has a exclusive agreement with the NFHS network. So about 2 days ago, when Mr. Milburn said, "Hey, believe it or not, you guys are on," and I'm glad we were on, because our fans, Tiger Nation, got a chance to watch the Tigers do work. Yeah, Annie, I hear you. Yeah, I can't remember losing at home for many years, so that would make sense. These seniors never lost a home game. Stillman freshman year. Yep, and away at Montini. We remember that one well a year ago. Montini, of course, in 4A and having a tremendous season. All right, there goes Kevin O'Neill. I think is that David Boyer, guys? Yep, guys have come out of the crow's nest. There they are. Kevin O'Neill, who's maybe about one of the great high school football minds that I've ever met, certainly in this neck of the woods. Yep, seniors are out there. Jackson Crawl, Vincent Martinez is out there. David Cunningham, that a kid. The kicker is out there on the defensive line as well. Yeah, David Cunningham with the stop. Hey, Brock Cunningham, if you're still listening or watching, the first game of the season that I did, I was, had Byron football on the brain, and I was calling David Cunningham Brock Cunningham. Of course, Brock Cunningham used to suit up. Brock, you still think you got it in you, big fella? Bunch of the guys listening that have played over the years, I could still put the pads on. Well, all right, looking to pass. He's got a man. I think this is going to be out of bounds, though. Oh, great effort down there. I don't think he's in bounds. Hey, good job, Yearly. That a baby?
TRS, if you're still listening, we're going back to state, buddy.
That a kid. Wilmarth, that a baby. Yeah. Exciting stuff. Yearly and Wilmarth, man. We're glad to be part of the fun. No, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we're not using that anymore. Hey, QB2. 2.5. Denton Shank, number 10, that a kid. He's got a new center as well. Briggs Barton. Bonvolet in the backfield, but instead a handoff. Still on his feet. Riley Boyer is out there on that offensive line. There's Vincent. I'm not sure who the ball carrier was, to be perfectly honest, but there's Jackson Crawl. 2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3. Jay Crawl, number 23. Let's see if he gets the ball here. To the right of, well, I should say behind the quarterback is Doc and Crawl. That was Jackson Crawl. He's in the box score with the carry. Hey, we've always tried to do a community broadcast, and we like to have some fun, tell a few jokes, a couple of stories. And, man, it has been a privilege to broadcast the Tigers football games this season here on Byron Tigers Live. And, hey, keep watching for us as we hope to continue broadcasting throughout the winter and into the spring. And at some point, even having the students take over on the mic. Hey, there's us, guys. Give them a wave. Yeah. Back at you, Avon. Thanks to all of our students who have made broadcasting a possibility this season. Avon Waldschmidt, Keegan Mitchell, Jackson Mayborn, Cooper Mayborn joined us today, Easton Burris, and of course Byron grads Riley Lorden and Nick Christian, who just couldn't join us today. I don't want to spill the beans. People are asking what horror movie are they getting a chance to interview the cast of today. Well, I don't know. You'll have to tune into Riley Lorden's YouTube channel to find out. But we missed them today, but we made it work. We got set up, and Avon fighting for his life up there. A lot more room. Hey, look at the top of the press box, boys. A lot more room up there now. Is pretty much all the coaches for either side have more or less cleared out up there. Student section is, walking out. And they're going to see if they can undoubtedly meet up with the boys as they make their way off. There they go. There's the cheerleaders, by the way. Great job to them. You know who's not able to be here tonight, but who have done an outstanding job for us throughout the season? The Byron Marching Band, the best darn band in the land. And they will. Yeah, you guys are going to be on, right? Oh, well, not. Okay. Jackson said, well, I'm not part of the band, but part of the best choir in the land. But Natalie Haas and the Tigers will they'll be down in Bloomington on Friday. All right, Tolono Unity, right, boys? That was a final. Just making sure. Handoff. The kid, Bo Lundquist and Jay Crawl, 23 and 22, respectively. Respectively and respectfully. Hey, there's Dom Liston. So lots of guys getting in on the act, and that sound to our left, boys, is them letting the air out of the compressor. They sound the air horn and letting the air out of the compressor here as Richmond-Burton, the Rockets, fall in a big way to the Tigers, who will advance to state. Celebration on the sidelines. It was never in doubt in that second half. After the first series, the Rockets scored first, but the Tigers never looked back, and 44-10 when the dust finally settles here in Richmond. All right, because of the IHSA's exclusive agreement, and of course this makes sense at the, once you finally get downstate, they'll let the big boys take over with the, actual television broadcast, and I'm sure that you'll be able to Google that here in the near future and find out, when and where the finals, will be broadcast. But sadly for us here on Byron Tigers Live, our football season comes to an end after this one. But that's okay, because we'll be able to make the drive down to Bloomington and watch them ourselves as they will take on Tolono Unity. Yep, student section's coming down. See the students down there? That a kid. Yep. There they are. Keegan's got him. Hey, there's Jeff Milburn with a big smile on his face. Andy Donaldson down there as well. All right. Hey, on behalf of our exceptional student production crew, Avon Waldschmidt, Keegan Mitchell, Jackson Mayborn keeping stats, Cooper with the score bug, and all of the rest of our student production crew who were not able to join us today. Congratulations to the Tigers as they advance to the state finals. That'll be on Friday in Bloomington. So go eat some turkey at Grandma's house and make your way down to Bloomington on Friday. Hey, thanks, big fella. How you doing? So on behalf of all of our student production crew, hey, everybody in the community that's supported us throughout the season, everybody in the Byron community that's part of Tiger Nation, this is for you, man. This has been a lot of fun, and yeah, let's see if we can get this young. Oh, that camera's turned off. I said little fella running around out there enjoying things. Anyway, celebrate Byron. And very soon, happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and then we'll see you down in Bloomington. Again, the final here in Richmond. The Tigers all over the Rockets, 44-10. Remember, be excellent to each other. Happy Thanksgiving. Once again, the final. The Tigers all over the Rockets, 44-10. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a proud presentation of Byron Tigers Live. Good night, everybody.